Trask Can Compilation Beach.
To talk about this is Mary Catherine Ham, senior writer for The Federalist and CNN political commentator, and Sally Cohn, a CNN political commentator, Daily Beast columnist, and Hillary Clinton supporter. Welcome to you both. So, Sally, you could argue Donald Trump has called his male opponent low energy too. Remember low energy Jeb?
I mean, yeah, it's, look, there's two layers here, right? Donald Trump insults everyone, right? He insults the male Mexicans and the female Mexicans. He insults the male Muslims and the female Muslims. So on some level,
white guys too.
Right? No, at some level, Donald Trump is a all-purpose blankety blank. I can't say what I want to say on, but there is also at that level, there's also a gendered particularity to it. So he can be a sort of a general jerk, and then within that, there can be particular sexist sort of versions thereof. When he says Carly Fiorina doesn't look presidential, or Hillary Clinton doesn't look presidential, right? When he says that she doesn't have the stamina, not just low energy, right? It's a larger, like, stamina. She's not quite made for the job in the way that he is. Women all know what that means, and frankly, in this day and age, most men can hear that too.
But Mary Catherine, do you think that Hillary Clinton will really have to deal with that sort of thing, you know, if she becomes president for her full term?
Well, first of all, what a pair, Samantha Bee and President Obama. One is an unfunny liberal ideologue boosting the base with lame dad jokes, and the other is the president. Look, I think this segment on the show probably did what they wanted it to do, which is reach the right audience and reach women with this message. And I think that Sally's right, that Donald Trump can insult everyone and also have this particular issue with women, which I think he does. Will she face questions in her presidency? Yes. Will some of it be sexist? Will sexism disappear? No. But here's the thing, when the president talks about her having something to hide, that doesn't just come from sexism. That comes from things like the email scandal. When you look at the numbers for her trustworthiness, and 6 or 7 in 10 voters saying they don't find her trustworthy on the honesty scale, and almost as bad as Donald Trump, sometimes worse than Donald Trump in some of these polls, that comes from somewhere. And a lot of those people are women. It's not just sexism.
Mary Catherine is right. A lot of women don't like Hillary Clinton, but yeah, on the other hand, President Obama did go there. He said because Hillary Clinton's an ambitious woman, that added to her untrustworthiness. And I, like Mary Catherine, can hear a lot of women saying, really?
Right. I mean, you know, listen, unfortunately, nuance is dead in this election by and large, so it's really hard to have nuanced conversations about these, but it is actually possible for both things to be true at the same time, that sexism plays a role in how we view a candidate like Hillary Clinton, and at times sexism has nothing to do with how we view a candidate like Hillary Clinton. For instance, the fact that the media has, for up until fairly recently, gave Donald Trump a wild free pass, didn't go after him remotely, and hammered Hillary Clinton over the emails every single chance it got, so that now here we are again talking about the emails instead of, oh, I don't know, Trump dodging $100 million in taxes. That repeatedly, combined with the 30 years of Hillary Clinton being attacked over and over and over again, also contributes, whether it's sexism or not, right? I think we walk and chew gum at the same time.
Well, I feel like we're talking about all of those things, and I also feel like the Clintons, including Hillary Clinton, have been attacked over many years because they've done many shady things, and then they've tried to cover them up, and then they've gotten themselves in trouble doing that, which is exactly the story of the emails. And you see the truth of this and exactly what people think about her coming out in the WikiLeaks Podesta emails and in the FBI investigation. And voters have a gut feeling about her that is not wrong. It comes from things she has done, not from just who she is.
I'm Cabot Phillips with Campus Reform. This week, a poll came out showing the majority of young people view Hillary Clinton as a positive role model. Today, we're at Georgetown University asking students what about Hillary Clinton makes her admirable. Let's see what they have to say. Right off the bat, between Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump, which candidate do you think you're more likely to support?
Hillary Clinton, 100%.
Hillary Clinton.
Definitely Clinton.
Hillary Clinton.
Who do you think you're going to vote for?
Hillary Clinton.
Definitely Hillary. All the way.
Hillary Clinton.
I'm voting Clinton, definitely.
Like, what accomplishments would you point to as making her a good role model?
What accomplishments? Can we cut for a sec?
No, I cannot think of something off the top of my head.
What experiences would you point to that you think shows she's a good role model?
I would say, sort of her. I think what do you think? Specific experiences.
I don't have any specifics for you.
What would be the main one accomplishment or the one experience she has that you think makes her a role model?
Wow. I wish I had a good answer for that, honestly. I don't have a good answer for that.
We got nothing.
No, yeah, I can't think of anything.
What would be, in your mind, her biggest accomplishment that makes her a role model to you?
I don't know.
Is there like one accomplishment she had from her lifetime as a politician that sticks out to you most?
Not particularly, just the fact that she's worked in government before, I think says a lot. It means she's qualified.
Are there any when you think back, this one thing sticks out to me the most, like a policy or like an accomplishment?
Not necessarily. I think more so just the fact that she's a female.
So not too many experiences or accomplishments to point to her being a role model?
No, I guess, being the first woman to run for president, I guess, is definitely up there.
Being a woman in such a male-dominated field, I think just to me in general really sticks out.
I think she does a lot for women and promoting a good role model for women, even if she's has had a lot of scandals come out about her. I think overall she has good morals.
Okay.
And she's kind of morphed her political views to align with what the majority of the country wants.
Her opponents would call that flip-flopping.
Yeah, I know, but I think people change their views on political issues all the time.
I think she's made some good changes, and
What would be your favorite changes that she's done?
Some people say she's flip-flopped on political views, but she's not flip-flopped, she's developed.
Hi.
Hello.
Okay. My name is Tanae. I'm the current president of our NAACP chapter.
Great.
And so I just have a few questions. During your entire presentation, I noticed that you failed to mention that feminism is the belief that men and women are equal. So do you not think this? And then also, I noticed when you were talking about America's values and about how great America is, you failed to mention that our nation was built on the power of white men without the acknowledgement of black people, the Indians, women at least. So do you not think that men and women are equal? Do you not acknowledge the problems that we have here in America that does, in fact, not make America great?
All right. No. Let's be respectful.
Not triggered. I understand how to handle myself, unlike some Trump supporters.
Guys. It was a perfectly reasonable, respectful question. Let's be respectful.
Thank you.
On the first half of your question, women don't agree with you. Fewer than 1 in 5 women in America describes themselves as a feminist, even though over 85% of them believe in inequality between the sexes. Why? Because they know that feminism has become something different now. They know that the feminism you're talking about, it's very convenient, isn't it, to sort of treat men like shit, and then when people say, I'm not a feminist, say, oh, but feminism's out of quality. That's not what feminism has become. It's not what feminism is anymore. Feminism is a mean, vindictive, spiteful, nasty, man-hating philosophy.
So
that
why
has very
would you
little, well, let me
promote-
finish, because I let you finish, okay? That has very little to do with the equality of the sexes and a lot to do with man-hating. And the way that you know that is women are abandoning it in their millions. Women don't want feminism anymore. They have rejected your version completely. They don't agree with you. In the UK, the numbers are even worse. Just 7% of women in the UK describe themselves as feminist, despite the fact that 92% of women in the UK believe in equality of the sexes. It's very clear what's happening. They don't believe that those two things mean the same, because if they did, they'd give the pollsters the same answer to both those questions. Women know that feminists say one thing and do another. Women know that the primary purpose of feminism these days isn't to promote equality, it is to beat down on men. So you've lost, you have a big PR problem on your hands, and when you come up and say, well, how dare you not mention that it's actually just about equality of the sexes, don't you believe in equality of the sexes? I very clearly said in my speech multiple times that I do, and that I love women, that I care about them. But, this sleight of hand that feminists play, when they're perfectly happy to treat men like shit and spread these conspiracy theories about the patriarchy, these lies about the wage gap, lies about campus rape culture, and then turn around and play the victim and play innocent and say, feminism's just about equality. Give me a break. Give me a break.
So,
As to your As to your second part of your question, I get some shit from conservatives for this answer, by the way, but I agree with you. I agree with you that there are structural historical problems in this country. I agree with you that the black community has been treated like hell by both Democrats and Republicans. I just don't think Black Lives Matter is the answer. I don't think that throwing your toys out the pram and burning your own cities is the answer. I think better schools would help. And I think if black people really wanted to improve their lot and improve their situation, they would start voting for Republicans. Because when they do, and when people police properly, black lives are saved. Bill Clinton, who signed the crime bill in which took thousands of black dads out of families and threw them in jail, the terrible, pointless, awful war on drugs, right? Replacing, you know, the black dad with the state, which is what Democrats have systematically tried to do to you guys for generations. And Black Lives Matter's response isn't to say, we're going to try voting for the other guys because 40 years of this hasn't worked. What we want is better schools so that a poor black child who is smart could go to Harvard. They don't do that. They cause a fuss, they block a road, and they burn their own towns down. So yeah, I agree with you that there's a problem. But I think we probably have very, very different prescriptions for that.
It's going to be a wall.
Why not?
Well, for one, the wall itself will cost like $814 million just to make.
Isn't Bernie's plan like $1 trillion?
He's not trying to destroy the economy.
Some would beg to differ, but I think we can all be unified here by helping build the wall.
We're not helping to build anything. We're helping to kick people out of this country. The Mexicans themselves aren't the problem. It's the big corporations that are a problem. Start punishing the corporations. Stop being a racist.
Stop being a racist.
I'm just not understanding how we can't afford a wall, but we can afford all of Bernie's plans, because his are actually more expensive.
His are paid for by the people, not billion-trillion-dollar companies.
I thought they were paid for by millionaires and billionaires.
They're paid by the people. Like me, like my mother. And let me tell you something. None of Trump is American. All of his family, all of his wives, everything of him is immigration. His wife is from the Czech Republic. Is he trying to kick her out?
No, of course not.
His parents aren't American, trying to kick them out?
No, they moved illegally.
His children, they aren't fully American. They plan to kick him out?
Pretty sure that all these people moved here legally, though.
Okay, so you're saying that just because...
Who can say where the road goes, where the day flows, only time.
Let me just say this is a Bernie rally. Try going to like the zoo.
Oh, that's a very clever suggestion.
Or the depths of hell itself. Have a good day.
Sassy. I think this is
I may be sassy, but...
My name is Jumana Imad Musa Ahmed Al-Bahri, and I'm a student here at UCSD. I was reading your literature. I found that much more interesting than the talk. And I found some interesting things about the MSA, which is an organization that's very active on campus, and it is hosting our annual Hitler Youth Week. You should come out to those events. If you could clarify the connection between the MSA and jihad terrorist networks, because last I checked, we had to do our own fundraising, and we never get help from anyone. So if you could clarify the connection between UCSD's MSA, or if you don't have such information, if you could connect other MSAs on UCs, because the connection wasn't too clear in the pamphlet. Just if you could clarify.
Okay. Will you condemn Hamas here and now?
I'm sorry, what?
Will you condemn Hamas?
Would I condemn Hamas?
As a terrorist genocidal organization?
Are you asking me to put myself on a cross?
So you won't. I actually have had this experience many times. You didn't read the pamphlet because the pamphlet is chapter and verse. The main connection is that the MSA is part of the Muslim Brotherhood network as revealed in the documents.
I don't think you understood what I meant by that. I meant if I say something, I'm sure that I will be arrested for reasons of Homeland Security. So if you could please just answer my question.
If you condemn Hamas, Homeland Security will arrest you.
If I support Hamas, because your question forces me to condemn Hamas. If I support Hamas, I look really bad.
If you don't condemn Hamas, obviously you support it. Case closed. I've had this experience, I had this experience at UC Santa Barbara where there were 50 members of the Muslim Students Association sitting right in the rows there. And throughout my hour talk, I kept asking them, will you condemn Hezbollah and Hamas? And none of them would. And then when the question period came, the president of the Muslim Students Association was the first person to ask questions. And I said, you know, before you start, will you condemn Hezbollah? And he said, well, that question is too complicated for a yes-no answer. So I said, okay, I'll put it to you this way. I'm a Jew. The head of Hezbollah has said that he hopes that we will gather in Israel so he doesn't have to hunt us down globally. For it or against it?
For it.
Thank you. Thank you for coming and showing everybody what's here. And you're wearing a terrorist neckerchief.
If you understood...
you didn't hear the lady.
Could you please answer my question?
You don't get to make a speech. Yes, sir.